Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. Some few hours ago, David Ndii, a William Ruto ally, shared some tweets. Tweets I strongly believe carries with them some truths. So in this video, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to have a look at the two tweets, after which, as usual, we are just going to dissect them to see the truth in those tweets. Yes, we are going to dissect them to see the truth in those tweets. So if in case you've just bumped here for the very first time, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. Give it a like, please. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Let's have a look at the tweets. The first tweet, David Ndii. If you are looking for an anti-corruption platform, don't support Order Kenya. We are not running on that platform. If you believe Raila will eradicate corruption, support him. If you think Kenya needs fresh, clean leadership, support Ruben Kigame. But for Christ's sake, stop whining. That's David Ndii's first tweet. And then the second tweet, David Ndii again. David Ndii. Order is not the place to look for anti-corruption champions. Why do so many people seem unable to deal with so obvious truth? Those two tweets from David Ndii carry some truth in it. Even though they might appear simple, if you dissect and look at them objectively, there is a strong message David Ndii is trying to pass across to Kenyans. And even before we look at the truth in the tweets, I tend to believe, ladies and gentlemen, that as time goes by, David Ndii is realizing most definitely that he might be in a wrong group. He is in a wrong group. I tend to believe inwardly, maybe his conscience is actually pricking him. He might be with the wrong people. So what's the truth David Ndii is trying actually to reveal to Kenyans? That's our analysis and discussion today. There are three truths here. The first truth, and I'm going to explain them in details. The first truth, David Ndii is just confirming to Kenyans that order cannot fight corruption. I think he's making that clear to Kenyans to see. Order cannot fight corruption. The second truth David Ndii is trying to insinuate, maybe indirectly, is that having looked at the top presidential candidates, in his considered opinion, maybe, he believes that Raila Amolo Odinga maybe can fight corruption. And that's why he's singling out Raila Amolo Odinga, that if you believe Raila will eradicate corruption, support him. He's not mentioning any other person. And then the third truth, he's also just telling Kenyans that there are no clean leaders as things stand today in Kenya. I believe those are three truths that I want us now to look at them into details to understand exactly what is happening here. Let's start with the first truth. Order cannot fight corruption. You know, David Ndii is a very respected Kenyan. In fact, before he joined William Ruto, David Ndii was seen as among the top economists and respected Kenyans in this country. But upon joining William Ruto, I tend to believe a majority of Kenyans started viewing, or rather seeing, David Ndii as somebody who is lost. Let me put it that way. As somebody who is lost. Because William Ruto and his team, they have largely been branded as very corrupt people. And now somebody in the stature of David Ndii actually joining such a team or a group, a good majority of Kenyans felt disappointed. And actually now they were just classifying David Ndii as part of that corruption or part of that cartel. So David Ndii, out of these two posts, ladies and gentlemen, without taking sides, David Ndii is actually making it clear that order cannot fight corruption. You know, for quite some times, Kenyans have been lamenting that maybe William Ruto is corrupt. But William Ruto supporters, they don't want to listen to that. in their own estimation or what they think, anytime William Ruto is said to be corrupt, his supporters have always come in his defense and to state that maybe it's the government who wants just to finish William Ruto politically. That's what William Ruto supporters have all along been saying, and even leaders supporting William Ruto. Some times back, President Uhuru Kenyatta said that there was to be an audit, lifestyle audit. And William Ruto's foot soldiers, leaders supporting William Ruto, the likes of Murkomen and that team, they came out guns blazing to state that the government was targeting William Ruto to block him from 2022 presidential election. So anytime corruption issue is mentioned, you will just find William Ruto's foot soldiers and his supporters saying that actually he's being targeted. But David Ndii is just trying to expose, or rather reveal, or rather send a message to Kenyans that actually, because David Ndii is now part of that team, he's cleverly telling Kenyans that UDA will not be able to fight corruption. So even if you vote for UDA, don't imagine or think, don't imagine or even think that UDA will be able to fight corruption. That's the first truth that David Ndii is just trying to inform Kenyans. And I concur with him on that, because William Ruto as an individual, whether alleged, whether true or false, has also been mentioned in numerous scandals that I don't want us to dwell onto in this YouTube channel, because that's a very long topic. Secondly, Raila is better placed to fight corruption. That's what David Ndii is also just trying to tell Kenyans here indirectly. You know, Raila, for the time Raila has served in government, the first time Raila entered government, he was appointed a minister by Moi, energy minister. I still remember, just briefly, as energy minister. And then after that, Kibaki came in and Raila was also appointed roads minister. And then again, Raila became the prime minister. But during all that time, there is no corruption allegation that you can directly pinpoint on Raila Amolo Odinga. In fact, the only corruption allegation that touched Raila a bit was the one of the maize scandal, when William Ruto was actually the agriculture minister. Raila had to fire William Ruto because of that scandal, though it was later reinstated by President Mwai Kibaki. So you can see for yourself that for the time Raila served in government, largely you cannot pinpoint directly a corruption allegation on Raila Amolo Odinga, and despite the fact that he served as the prime minister. Look at William Ruto, for example. Immediately they came in for their first term, there was scandals all over. Right from Western Hotel, Hustlers Jet, you can count, there are so many, ladies and gentlemen. So, Ndii here is cleverly also trying maybe to insinuate to Kenyans directly, maybe he's being pricked with his concerns, that having looked at all these top politicians, maybe Raila can fight corruption compared to all these others. Because again, you know, all these top politicians, in one way or the other, they have all served in government. Kalonzo served in government, Mudavadi served, Raila served, William Ruto served. But largely, if you look at maybe somebody like Kalonzo and Raila, you know, and then look at Kalonzo, look at Raila, look Mudavadi, and then you look at Ruto. You can just maybe decide for yourself who you think is the less evil, or rather who you think is the most corrupt out of all these leaders. That's something you can decide for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. And then the third truth, no clean leader amongst these ones now. And he's suggesting that if Kenyans want a fresh start, then they should go for the likes of Reuben Kigame. That's a truth, but I differ with him on that. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we are in Africa. And a leader who has never been in a position, you cannot know his true motive. Maybe this Reuben Kigame, if assuming he gets power, he can even be worse than all these leaders we are seeing. He has never been given that opportunity to serve. So Kenyans don't actually know this kind of a person. Kenyans, because we are in Africa, we want leaders who have been tested. You have tried them with power, and you have seen how they can deliver. All these top leaders have been in government. We have seen William Ruto's track record. We have seen Kalonzo. We have seen Raila and Mudavadi. So Kenyans can make a better informed decision looking at these leaders because they have all served in government. But to look for somebody who has never been part of the government, that's really asking for too much. And that leader can just turn out to be another monster that Kenyans actually never expected. So in my considered opinion, I tend to believe that David Ndii, out of these two tweets, is just confirming to Kenyans that he might be in a wrong group. And it's just a matter of time before also we see very interesting developments in UDA. And it's also just confirming to maybe UDA supporters and to Kenyans that as UDA, they cannot fight corruption. That's something David Ndii makes very, very clear for Kenyans to see and to hear. Otherwise, before I conclude, just as I did indicate when we were starting, if you've just bumped here for the very, very first time, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. Give it a like, please. If you are watching us outside Kenya for the very first time, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. And if possible, subscribe, give this video a like. Give it a like. And to our fans here, our subscribers, I'm very much humbled for the kind of support you are giving me here. By constantly giving our videos likes, constantly dropping your comments. God bless you. God bless Kenya. And to any other person, that's the kind of analysis we do in this YouTube channel. We don't beat about the bush. We hit the nail on the head, straight to the point. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana.